In this video, I'll show you how to install a local Oracle database and connect to it with SQL Developer. This can be used when learning SQL. So first of all, what you want to do is download the Oracle database. This is the database I'm using here. I'll put the link in the description. Pick whatever machine you're using. So I'm using a Windows 64-bit, so I'm going to install that. And you also want, at this link here, SQL Developer. So you'll click download, and you'll accept the license agreement, which I already have, and pick the version that suits your machine. Now I'm using this Windows version here because I already have the JDK installed. If you don't have a JDK installed, then you can download that one. After downloading them, you can go into your downloads, extract them, and it will leave you with one setup file for the Oracle database, and install that. Just follow the prompts. It will ask you for a password, so make sure you remember that password, but all the other prompts you can just click the default options. And then when you extract the SQL Developer, it will just be an executable file here, so you don't have to install that yet. Just run it and it will start up. So now what we want to do is make a connection to our database. So we will go into our programs, go down to Oracle, and here we will run SQL command line. Now the first step is to type connect sys as sysdba. Invalid option because I hit a space. Okay, didn't mean to hit that space there. And enter password, and the password should just be sysdba, again, no space. So now we're connected. And after connection, you can make your new connection. So I'm going to say create user home user, and then identified by, and then enter a password. So I'm going to say just password 2, which obviously isn't a secure password, but so now I've created home user, and then I can say grant all privileges to home user, and this should give me privileges there, and that's all we need to do in the command line. So now let's close out of that. We can go into SQL Developer and load it up. So we'll say please specify the JDK. So if you have the JDK version, it probably has a default root, but I'll have to specify this manually. So this may be different on other people's machines, but for mine it's going to be in here. We go to program files, Java, and then this is my version of JDK, so I'll click here and select folder and click OK. Version 9 has not been certified, so okay, I'll come back in a second with version 8. By the looks of it, I didn't read that error message properly, and version 9 will work, possibly. And let's hit no and keep going. Now this is SQL Developer here. So what we want to do first is connect to our database. So we will make a new connection here. And this should bring up a window here. And we'll connect connection name. Let's say connection name is home user. Username is the same as the username that these should be the same as the username we entered when we're creating the connection. And then the password should be the same password. This is password 2, and we can save that password there, and then we can leave these as default localhost. This is the port, and that's the SID. Now we might have to actually change the port if this database is actually running on a different port, but we'll test this and see if it works. Success. So we can say save, so we can connect again and connect. So now we should be connected to our database. So let's just run some SQL and check this working. Let's just quickly create a table. So create table and spell table, and then just say table. Let's call it names, and then we will say f name and then varchar to have, say, a first name and then L name for a last name. Give it 10. And we can close this off. And then next we can get rid of this actually to make it work. But we will insert into this table here. Actually, we can just run this and see does this work first. So we'll run all this. Table names created, so names is in there. That means our connection is working. Alright, so actually that shows our connection is working, so I don't have to do anything else. And that is how you make a connection to your local database and connect to it to SQL Developer. Thank you.